up? It's me, Audra, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm not sure how you got here, but certainly I'm glad you came. And if you are new here, well, you're in for a treat. All right, if you enjoy chaotic, frenetic energy, you like beauty, you like horror, and a little bit of commentary thrown in between, then I suggest you go on ahead and subscribe for the low, low price of $0. I will tell you a random fact about myself. Today's random fact is I don't take baths. I take showers. Baths ook me out. The idea of laying in my own filth for any period of time, ugh, grosses me out. All right, and here are my socials. I don't mean to offend anybody who likes to take baths, but I just cannot do it. I love all the ads. You are all so wonderful when you do that. I truly appreciate it. I am having an up day and I'm very excited. So today is not a soothe video, it's a whoop whoop video. Actually, today is Terror Tuesday and I'm so excited about it. Listen, I was so excited, I took notes. All right, you can't see the notes, but like I took them. That's neither here nor there. And I'm trying to be more professional. Listen, if I'm gonna make it in this YouTube game, girl gotta start writing scripts, get better. Still gonna drink wine though. Samantha March drinks wine, it's fine. Okay, so today's Terror Tuesday is definitely hashtag not sponsored, but it's totally gonna sound sponsored the way that I'm talking about it. And this is actually not scripted, but I don't know where I have been. I don't know what I've been doing, but I apparently have this app. It's called Tubi, T-U-B-I, Tubi, all right? It's a free app. And on it you can watch movies for free. Yes, there are commercials, but like they're not even horrible commercials. And I actually love the way that they do their commercial breaks. Unlike IMDb, another free place to watch movies. IMDb, my problem with them is there's like no good break and the commercials are long and they also get louder. On Tubi, that doesn't really happen. And they also have like a little circle that tells you when an ad is coming up. So you're like prepared for that ad break and it's not particularly long. Anyway, why am I talking about Tubi? Because, y'all, there are horror movies on Tubi. Yes. If you're one of my patrons, you already know which movies I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about 9 of the best movies I have found so far on Tubi. And I hope that you guys, you enjoy this. I don't know where that noise is coming from and why I just turned into Quagmire for like a split second, but we're going to ignore that and we're going to start with movie number 1, which is Splinter. Splinter is an alien invasion type of movie with a kind of dark, creepy feel. I like this movie. Not a lot of people loved it. I, however, did. I was like, well, I was there for it. There's not actors that you're aware of and you know very well, as is the case with a lot of horror films. I think that this one is really good because it's well shot. It's shot in like one location for the majority of the film. There are a few other locations to start the movie, but it almost all takes place in a gas station. I don't want to give too much away if you haven't seen it. But, and I'm trying not, like, no spoilers for this. I'm not even doing the spoiler alert because I don't want to give them in case you want to watch these movies. So Splinter is pretty good. Now, obviously, the spoiler alert's already here for this one, but it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre coming in at my second recommendation. It's not number 2, it just means it's my second recommendation. These are in no particular order, by the way, because I have to say that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, not all the iterations, which I do like them, but this is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I know I've already done a Terror Tuesday reenactment of that movie. Every time I watch that movie, it's better and better and better every single time I watch it. I find it so enjoyable. I don't even know why. Like, as a horror lover, it's weird to have so much joy in so much terror, but that's it. My third recommendation, listen, this one might seem like a little goofy and ooky, but it's Prom night. All right, listen, Jamie Lee Curtis doing her Scream Queen thing, and she's dancing, y'all. I'm doing that 70s dancing, do you know what I'm talking about? Where they just kind of like shimmy their shoulders. I mean, like, well, I'm not gonna say it, but you know. Anyway, This movie is about a killer who is stalking some teens, and it all culminates in a prom night that you would not believe. Now, don't get this confused with the other prom night that was remade and we all got reacquainted with, I think her name was Brittany Snow, and she had like the scar on her head. And I don't like to make fun of people's appearances, but there was something about the way that they highlighted her scar in that movie that almost made her scar like another character. And I didn't appreciate that they did that to her because, you know, she was a fairly lovely person, and that movie actually sucks. But this is really fun. It's a good time. It's a little hokey, a little corny, but it's a good time. And there's a lot of slashing and slicing and dicing. Next up, we're gonna hit, listen. My fourth recommendation is Waxwork. If you have not seen Waxwork, I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing with your life? Waxwork is one of my all-time favorite horror films, and I always forget to include that in my all-time horror films, like favorite horror films. I don't know why, but it really is. Every time I have an opportunity to watch Waxwork, I do. It has old boy from Gremlins in it, whose name I'm definitely not gonna remember because he's just like that dark-haired guy, you know, the guy who has the mugwai. His dad gets him the mugwai, and he's like, blah, blah, blah. I'll put his name here. Anyway, it has him in it. It has a girl who was also in April Fool's Day, which, another of my favorites, but we'll talk about that another day. But the film centers around going to an old waxwork museum. And this is the movie that won, I'm gonna call it my awakening as a woman, because there's a scene in there with a Marquis de Sade that just... And then the other thing that I'm gonna say about it is I hate wax figurines. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. And that's never gonna change. I don't like going to Madame Tussauds. I don't like any of that. I don't like wax figurines. This movie was why. I saw it fairly young. Anyways, moving on. My next recommendation is going to be Hellraiser, the original, the one that started it all. This movie has high BDSM overtones, if you didn't know. But for those of you who haven't seen it, it has to deal with a puzzle box, which I have one that's similar. Hold on, 1 second, let me grab that thing. This puzzle box. Yeah, this is just a tin because as much as I like replicas, there's no way in hell that I'm ever gonna get a replica of the actual puzzle box because, I don't know, you don't tempt fate, you know what I mean? Seems like a bad idea. Anyway, this is gonna be taking its place back there here shortly. So love Cthulhu while you can, because Cthulhu's not always gonna be there. Cthulhu has things to do. Hellraiser is about a puzzle box and opening the gateways to hell and all the wonderful, horrible things that can happen. Hellraiser 1 and Hellraiser 2 are pretty good, and then it just starts getting weird after that. There's one with a girl who, I don't know, it got weird. She was like a child, just playing with the box. Things get strange. I feel like that was number 2, and I'm just confused. We're gonna move on, because I don't, like, Hellraiser is not my favorite series, but I do like the original Hellraiser movie. Quick warning, if you don't like to see people skinned, or like people without skin, I don't recommend that. Okay, now we're at number 6, which is Cube. Cube is one of those movies that you've either seen it and you're part of the cult that enjoys it, or you haven't seen it and you're going to become a part of the cult that enjoys it. This is, honestly, if you watch Cube, it gives you some pretty serious Saw vibes, like the beginning of how Saw works and figuring out what they're doing there. It does give you those vibes, but luckily there is no sawing. But it is a very good thriller horror movie with like traps. It really does give Saw vibes. Anyway, it's very, very Big Brother. Big Brother is out to get you in a way. It's fun. Fun would be a word that I could use for it. Terrifying is another one, but it's also very interesting and intricate, and you have to really pay attention all the way through. Otherwise, there's like pieces that you miss. But Cube is fantastic, phenomenal, and a rockin' good time. It has Nicole, I think her name is Nicole DeBoer. I cannot say her last name. I'm gonna put it here. If y'all can pronounce it, please let me know. She's in it. She's looking like very pretty. She's very smart. She's got math. I don't know why I said that the way that I did, but she does. Sorry, I had to have a moment of silence because The Collector is quite literally a movie that I could watch over and over and over again. The Collector is a fantastic horror film. This is one of the few home invasion horror films that I can watch, and it is because it doesn't actually start out as a home invasion and it is not necessarily a home invasion. It's a weird hybrid of like almost haunted house and home invasion where you don't see it coming. Also, the soundtrack is fucking boss. I enjoy the music that's in here. It is a good movie. It's got Josh Stewart, who, by the way, is kind of a horror king. He's a little bit of a horror king. He's in a lot of different horror movies because Josh Stewart looks wise, kind of, and let me see if I can put a picture of him on either one of these sides, but he kind of looks like a very sad, lost puppy / demented teddy bear. I don't know if that made sense. Anyway, Josh Stewart stars in this movie. He is starring as a burglar, and that's all I'm gonna tell you because if you haven't seen this, please watch it. It is so, it's like my favorite, and I know that there are people who don't like it, but it does have a cult following. The Collector and The Collection, it's two pieces. The Collection, I think that you might be able to watch for free on Amazon Prime. I'm not positive, but I think you might be able to. I love both of those movies with like my entire heart. I could just watch them back to back to back to back, and I do, and it's never bothered me. Like right now, I can tell you that this week alone, I have probably watched The Collector 20 some odd times. Like, what happens is I start watching The Collector and then I Marco Polo back and forth with my friends, Jen, Teresa, Emily, and Lacey. Like I Marco Polo back and forth. And then as soon as it's over, I'll like be doing other things. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's play it again. And I do, and it never bothers me. Every time. Every time I enjoy every aspect of this film. It was wonderfully well shot. I think that's one of the things that makes it so good because they really could have messed this up, and it's phenomenal. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna move on because I feel like I just got stuck on The Collector because it's one of my favorite movies ever. Now we're gonna move on to number 10, which is Oculus. Oculus is terrifying. This is about a mirror. And for those of you that don't know lore behind mirrors, there's multiple forms of lore behind mirrors. One, you can get your soul trapped in a mirror. Two, your actual like double lives in a mirror, right? There's also that, like that there's a double you that's living in another world in the mirror. And if you stare too long and touch your hand at the same time that it just kind of like looks at you and you look at it and you touch your hand to it, y'all can switch places. Listen, you don't want any of that smoke. Don't do that, okay? If for whatever reason, the mirror kind of winks at you, or what your own reflection, it like gives you a wink or something, get thee out of the fucking bathroom. Get out of the bathroom and leave. Like, start covering your mirrors and stop looking at that shit, and then have somebody come in and sage and protect your home from those evil spirits. Okay, the Oculus deals with a mirror that has possibly, potentially wreaked havoc on many people's lives. This movie is about people trying to discover what happened and how it happened, and I think that you will greatly enjoy this as a horror lover, and since it is free, I highly recommend you pop in and watch that one. Like, of all the ones on here that I would definitely say that you need to watch, it's gonna be Cube, The Collector, and Oculus, because you have the opportunity to watch them free. These are experiences you don't wanna miss. You don't wanna miss them. Finally, at number 11, because I don't like even numbers, is The Lazarus Effect. Okay, this movie has a lot of creep vibes. I don't really know how to describe this movie, but it has to do with science and all the ways that science can go wrong. I actually really love science horror films because it's 2020. And for those of you that don't know or haven't been paying attention, things have gotten a little fucking weird. You know? I tweeted this out a long while ago. Maybe that was yesterday. Point still stands that I was like, hey, remember when we were all laughing at Sharknado? Like, that could never happen. Listen, don't tempt 2020. The Lazarus Effect is a very good movie that talks about science and the ways in which we use science. And I think you need to see this one for yourself to be disgusted and upset by. Not disgusted in a bad way, but just like disgusted in like, why do we allow scientists to do the things that they do? Because science, that's why. So that is it. If you enjoyed this style of video and you want me to continue letting you know what is on any of these like varying streaming services for free, let me know, because I'm always happy to do that. Listen, I spend literally, like when I'm not job hunting, I'm watching horror all day, every day. I'm sure many of you think like, no, she doesn't watch horror. I really, really do. You can ask any of my friends. You can pop over to their channels and ask them when they like Marco Polo'd me, how many times I've been like, murmuring about something horror related. Also, Amazon has some good ish. So if you all like this and I have 100 likes on this video, I will do the Amazon version of this and I will actually bring it next Tuesday. I have been doing every other Tuesday for Terror Tuesdays because I am live on every other Tuesday. However, if y'all really enjoy this format, then I'll go ahead and pop in another one next week with what is free, creepy style on Amazon. And by free, I mean you already pay for the Prime service and then like you can just watch these movies and not have to rent them. All right, that is it. That is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and also thank all of you for all the love on my nighttime skincare routine. I was super nervous about that. I was so frightened and so like stressed out about releasing that, but you all have been so wonderful and loving and caring and kind, and I truly appreciate it. Until next time, huge shout out to my patrons. Yeah, all right. Always, always, please be kind. Please be kind. It costs $0 to be kind, and it's really good for your soul. And after you watch some of these movies, especially Hellraiser, you're gonna need to do everything you can for that soul. All right, until next time, please be safe out there, and deuces! Ooh, I got a little drunker than anticipated, and I seem sweatier than usual. It's really hot. Hold on. Ooh. She can do it, so can I. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh shit, here comes the storm. Ooh. Girl, I'm loving this eye look. Get it?